Hello family, welcome back to the channel. So in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this laptop backpack that can also be used as a travel bag. It is an office bag. So if this is something you would like to see, please stay tuned to the channel and let's go straight into the tutorial. So I got the inspiration from this other picture I got on Pinterest. So guys, the bag has a lot of parts. So I've already went ahead and cut out all my parts off camera, but I'm going to be, you know, telling you the measurements as I go. So I am going to be starting with the front pocket, and I have already drawn all my markings on the bag before I went ahead and cut out the pieces. So please, anything you're seeing on my tape, make sure you are removing 3 inches. So for the pocket, I cut out the first pieces is 10 by 5 and the second pieces is 10 by 7. Then this long strap that you are seeing is a 1 inches by the measurement I got when I measured the three sides like this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I am just going to go ahead and put them wrong side facing each other. Then I will just go ahead and make a straight stitch like this. This is how I'm going to lay it. Then I'll just go ahead and make a straight stitch. Thank you guys for tuning into the channel once again. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. I love you and God bless you. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. The next thing I went ahead and do is I went ahead and gave the flap a curve, the 10 by 5 inches. I gave it a curve off camera, and I went ahead and I am going to go ahead and top stitch it. I'll just go ahead and top stitch it. So after I went ahead and top stitch it, this is the main body of the bag. The measurement measures, it measures 15 inches in 16 inches in length by 12 inches in width, while the bottom is 5 inches by the same 12 inches. So of course I'm going to be cutting the two bodies. So the flap is not connected to the body. This one that you are seeing is just the body and the bottom, which is the first body, the bottom, and the second body, while this one is the flap, and the flap measures 12 inches in length by 15 inches in width. That is the measurement of the flap. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I am just going to go ahead and sew the front pocket to the body of the bag. I went up by 1 inches from where the bottom starts from. So if you don't know how to go about this and how to go about the markings of the bag, I am just going to drop another link of another bag that I've made that it's well explanatory. So from the side I went out by 2 inches, and from the bottom I went down by 1 inches. Like I said, if you don't know how to go about it, I'm going to put the link in the description box. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to measure half inches from what I have sewn already, and I'm just going to go ahead and connect the lines. That is going to be serving as a guide to where I'm going to be putting the flap. Then for the chain buckler holder, I measured 10 inches by 1 inches. I'm using 1 inches in width because the buckle I am using is a 1 inches buckler. So you could, if you are using a buckler that is bigger than that, make sure the width of the buckle holder is the same as the buckle holder you are using. So I went ahead and measured 2 inches from the side and I made my marking. I am just going to be putting the holder this way, then I'll put the flap this way, then I'll put the second one as well. So please, it's very, very essential you make your markings because it's going to serve as a guide to how you stitch your material. So after sewing, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the flap is already in place. So this one that you are seeing is the bottom of the bottom. You know, the bottom is the one that is going to be carrying everything you put inside the bag. So it is very, very essential that the bottom is durable. And the only way you can make the bottom durable is by adding another bottom to the bottom. So this is me putting a back stand to the bottom of the bag just to prevent the bottom of the bag to be touching the ground directly. So I'm putting 4 here, and the measurement of this bottom, of course, is going to be the same measurement as the initial bottom, which is 5 inches by 12 inches. So after putting the bottom stand, I'm just going to go ahead and sew this bottom to the markings I drew on the bottom. I'll just go ahead and make straight stitch like this. So after I was done, this is what it looks like. Don't forget to put your D-ring holder, and the measurement is 1 inches from 1 inches from both ends. So this is me trying to, give make my markings for the back zipper, because the bag has back zipper. So this is me moving down from the top by 1.5 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a straight line to connect the lines that I measure like this. The next thing I am going to go ahead and do now is to go out by 2 inches from the edges this way, then I'll go out by 2 inches from the edges this other way. Then I'm just going to go down from that 1.5 inches that I measure. I'm going to be going down by half inches, and that is going to be serving as the opening of where the zipper is going to be. It's going to be serving as the opening where the zipper is going to be. So I'll just go ahead and connect the lines, and I'll just go ahead and cut it. Please make sure you are cutting exactly on the lines, because if you cut it outside the lines, it's going to be bigger and you don't want the zip to be falling off. So after cutting, this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do, of course, is to attach my zipper. So I've gone ahead and cut out the zipper. I cut it out in excess. I cut it out in 1 inches excess, so that half inches will be on both end, and I went ahead and put my runner. So this is how I'm going to go ahead and sew it. I'll sew it from one straight end to the other end, then I'll leave this top part, then I'll turn it to the wrong side like this, then I'm going to be putting the lining on top like this, then I'm going to be sewing it. So when I sew it, this is what it looks like. I'm so sorry that my camera is blur. I did not know. I did not know. When I realized I've already done this part of the video. So this is what it's going to look like. So I cut out the lining in excess so that I'll be able to fold it down like this. So you could use your sewing machine to stitch it, but because I didn't want it to have a lot of stitches, I decided to use a gum, my super glue, to hold it in place. So this part, I am so sorry. I did not know that I did not press record. But what I did was I just cut out a foam and a lining that was the same width and the length of the overall body. Then I just put it twice. I facing each other, then I sew it, then I turn it inside out. So I sew the top, then I turn it inside out. So this part is just a pieces that I cut. Is the lining pieces that I cut out that is 4 inches lesser than the overall body, and I went ahead and put a foam inside. That is going to be serving as the laptop compartment. So this part that you're seeing is the flap. Like I said, I cut it out at 12 inches by 15 inches. So this is just me. I got the middle of the width of the bag, then I went up by 1 inches on both sides, then I went ahead and make a slant. This is because the front of the bag has the flap of the bag has this design, so I just went ahead and cut it out. So after I cut it out, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to be going up by 1 inches from the other end, then I'm going to be going out by half inches, and I'll just make this slant. This is going to give it this professional and luxurious look. So I'll go ahead and do it on the both sides, then I would go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting it out, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and give it a top stitch starting from that slant that I cut, and I'm also going to go ahead and sew that part to the lining part of the bag and also top stitch the bag. So this is the corset. It's a round corset. If you don't know how to go about a corset, I have the tutorial on the channel. I am going to be putting the link in the description box so that you'll be able to watch and see how to go about the corset. While this part that you're seeing is the part of the handle that is on top of the handle that is on top of the bag. So the measurement I am using is a 20 inches by 1 inches. This is because I'm using a square ring that is 1 inches in length. So I need the width of the fabric to be 1 inches. So I went ahead and overlay it, then I sew it. Then I drag the square rings to the side this way, while this other fabric is a 7 inches in length by 3 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold it this way. Then I'll just go ahead and give it a straight stitch. You can sew it once, you can sew it twice, depending on how much you how you want it. So I'll just go ahead and give it a straight stitch. So after I give it a straight stitch, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to just add this extension to the side of the bag. This is the one that I'm going to be sewing on the top of the bag. So you can give it any shape of choice. You could leave it square and you could just make it round like my own. So this is the flap. What I'm doing right now is I am just going to be measuring 1.5 inches from this back part. You remember we measured 1.5 inches on the body of the bag. So this is the one that I'm going to be overlaying on the body of the bag. So I measured out that 1.5 inches. So from that 1.5 inches, I am still going to go ahead and measure 4 inches this way. And that is going to be serving as the top of the bag. And that is going to be where I am going to be putting this handle that I am working on like right now. So this is just me making my markings. The markings, I like making my markings because I don't want the top of the handle to be bent, because if the top of the handle is bent, it will be looking as if the bag is bent. So it's very, very essential you make these markings that I am making. So after I got the 4 inches, I went ahead and got the middle. So this is the middle that I am marking. Then from the side, I'm going to be going out by 2 inches from the side. This side like this, I'm going to be going out by 2 inches on both sides, and that is going to be serving as where I am going to be starting, where I'm going to start the putting of my handle like this. Then I'm just going to go ahead and sew it following the shape. So after I sew it, this is what it looks like, and this is how the hand should be. It should be up, it should not be exactly flat. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to now overlay the flap and the back of the bag. So I'm going to be putting it exactly like this. Then I'm going to be making 3 stitches. So after I stitch it, this is what it looks like. The next thing I'm going to be going ahead and do is to work on the handle on the side. Sorry. So like I said, I have a tutorial. I made a well dedicated tutorial on how to make a round gusset, because I am using a round gusset for this bag. So I have a well detailed tutorial that I made, a separate tutorial on how to go about a round gusset. So I'm going to put the link in the description box so that you'll be able to watch it and know how to go about this corset and understand these markings that I am making at one end of the bag. So after I make those markings, the thing is I added half inches to my measurement. So after I made those markings, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to join the side of the bag to the bag itself, starting from those side that I top stitch. So this is the long strap. So in case you don't know how to go about a long strap or how to fix your adjuster and your hook to the long strap, then this is a bonus for you. So the first thing you're going to go ahead and do is to cut out the length you want. I'm cutting out 45 by 1 inches. This is because the adjuster I'm using and the hook I'm using is 1 inches. So after you do that, the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is to put your adjuster this way, then you sew the middle, then you put your holder on the other side, then you put the adjuster inside this way, I just hope you understand what I'm saying. Even if you don't understand, at least you are seeing it. So then you go ahead and put the final hook this way. Of course, don't forget to stitch it. So after I was done, this is what it looks like. I went ahead and did the final touches of the bag. I went ahead and put my shoe dye so that the side of the bag will not be looking rough. I trimmed it, I filed it, and I went ahead and put the dye. So this is what it looks like. I went ahead and put the lock off camera. I have a tutorial on how to go about it. I'm going to put the link in the description box as well. And that is like basically everything about this tutorial, guys. You see the way the bag came out. Lovely. Please rate me. What do you think? Did I try? Did I try? Anyways, thank you guys for tuning into the channel once again. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. And if you're just tuning into the channel for the very first time, please do well to click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post in new tutorials. Because on this channel, we have many more amazing tutorials to show you guys. And I promise you, you would want to be a member of this family. Thank you for watching and see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye for now.